Good morning, folks. We are starting out on day 5. So, had a wonderful night's stay here at the Weather Vane. We had one of those balcony water-facing rooms, so that was really cool. And just got some really good rest, hydration, good meal in our bellies, and now we are ready to head on to Ludington. So weather again today is supposed to be about mid-80s, and we're just gonna get moving here and try to make some time. Alright, hey guys, so we are riding on the Montague Trail, and it is absolutely really gorgeous out here. The scenery is just like, rolling hills and beautiful tree lines.
I'll give thanks right now, Lord, for Jason and Tara. Thank you for safety on the road for them. Lord, in your mercy, find favor on them as they pedal off to Ludington and get ready to take that ferry back home. Thank you for...
Alright guys, so we found ourselves on this dirt road, which is sand, and I just took a spill, and now I'm carrying a stinking tree. Goodness. So alright, so we are on a dirt road that's not a dirt road, it's a sand road, and you can't even pedal. So Jay and I are doing our first forced hike-a-bike. We were doing just fine, but due to conditions.
I'm panting. I'm panting. You're panting.
And we still got like 8/10 of a mile to go.
Ugh.
This has been absolutely horrible, guys. So my GPS said take a dirt road, and Jay was like, that looks like sand. I'm like, no, these bikes take you on gravel, and this is like literally sand. And I mean, I have fallen a million times. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm ready to be done. Half a mile to go, and hopefully we're done with this.
How many miles were we in here?
It would be like 3.6.
And it was all nasty.
It's this. I mean, look, like, I look like a sugar cookie. All right, guys, so we just finished that like 3.6 mile dirt segment. It seemed like forever, and it was super hard. Like, I don't know, I must have fell over like 6-8 times, but just kind of getting back up and getting back on. Thank God for the Marine Corps training and the positive mental attitude. I literally just took my shoe here. I want to see how much sand is in this puppy. I don't know. Can we get that? All right, and I did not put that in there, folks. Like, that happened. So anyway, we're gonna get our minds right and get moving again. So check in with you guys later. right, hey guys, so I am coming to you from the tent tonight, and we are finished with day 5. We are in Ludington, Michigan, and today was kind of rough. We got up early, we knew we had heat to deal with, we had more mileage, and we were just gonna kind of hit the road early and try to beat the heat. And everything was going as planned. We were making our way. We were probably at around mile 16 or so, and we were climbing this hill. It was really hot, and we decided, hey, there's a small patch of shade right there. Let's just stop, rehydrate, and then keep going. Well, while we were hanging in that shade spot, this lovely lady named Barb came out to the street, and she's like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, how long are you going? Do you need some cold water here? Come here, come in the shade. And so we went, and it turns out that Barb and Bernie were just the nicest people in the world. I mean, they had great conversation. We had water. She brought us fruit snacks and granola. And it's funny because at the end of our conversation, as we were starting to wrap up, she's like, hey, can we spray you guys down with mosquito spray? Like, the mosquitoes are crazy here. And how about some more sunblock, you know? And she's just like over accommodating. We're like, no, we're good, thanks. We already sprayed. And, you know, then she prayed for us and asked God to put a shield of protection around us and make, you know, safe travels. And then off we went. And so probably maybe, gosh, less than a quarter mile from her house down the hill, you could have stayed on the road and gone left, or you go straight. Well, my Garmin told me to go straight because we have our navigation set up for bicycle touring, which sometimes it'll take you on like back roads and dirt roads, gravel roads, and usually is fairly manageable because they're assuming that you're on a gravel bike, which we are. Well, this turned out to be not the case. It was so sandy. I mean, so sandy you could barely even move. But what do, right? So we got over like the first hill, and then we're kind of thinking, ooh, I asked Jay, I said, hey, should we go back? But I wasn't quite certain. I thought, you know, if we just keep going, it'll get a little bit better. And then you get to that point where you really can't go back. You just need to keep chugging. So long story short, we spent about 3.6 miles back in the most ridiculous, sandy, mosquito-ridden terrain. I mean, there were like little ponds back there. We're like navigating around all this water, and where there's water in the woods, there's mosquitoes. I mean, there was like hundreds of them swarming us. And I mean, I fell like 4 times. I get up, Jason was on the ground once, and I'm like, oh geez. So we just kind of kept powering through it, had to dig down deep, get that PMA, that positive mental attitude, and just keep trucking, one foot in front of the other. And I mean, we knew eventually we would get there. It's a matter of like how bad it would suck on the way, right? So but we did it. And it's funny because when we got out of it, Jay was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 being amazing, 10 being horrible, like what do you think? And I gave it a 4. And I gave it a 4 because yes, it sucked, but I mean, we were totally supporting each other. And when we got out of there, we were just like, man, if we made it through that, we can make it through anything. So I don't know, it's just kind of like funny that the most horrible experience at the time can be probably like the most rewarding experience in the end. And trust me, I was not thinking like this at that time. I was just thinking, get out of here. Yeah, it was pretty intense. So when we finished that, we got lucky again with another trail angel. We were kind of getting ready to go into Pentwater on our way to Ludington, and the road closed. There were road closures because of flooding and things like that. So the roads were closed towards Ludington, and we would have had to detour. But it turns out that they opened up like 2 days ago. Thank God, because we were like not in the mood for detouring. And we stopped at a local's house just to confirm, like, hey, if we have to detour, like, what's the best way around? And they were super nice. They kind of told us about the road reopening, and then they filled our water bottles. They're like, you know, we got to fill you up with water. You don't want to run out on a day like today. And I just thought that was so sweet. I mean, people just looking out for us all over the place. So we got through Pentwater and we're making our way around a couple of different inland lakes, and we're going up this big old hill, and I mean literally our legs were so heavy it wasn't even funny. I mean, both of us were just like barely turning over, and we're trying to get to the top of this hill, just chugging along, and I saw all of these cars. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jay, there has to be food at the top of this hill. And sure enough, there was like some of the best seafood in the area. I mean, totally ridiculous. We pulled over. We got us some good seafood. He had perch, I had Gulf shrimp. I mean, it tastes so fresh. And got myself a Vernon's Pop, and I was like ready to roll. So after we ate, we loaded up the bikes. We had to take the trash with us because technically we weren't supposed to eat on property, so they didn't even have trash cans out. So I mean, it is what it is. We weren't like going anywhere. We were gonna eat that food, and that's what was gonna happen. So so we had a great dinner, and we slid on into Ludington, and we had another just great time sitting down on the water watching the SS Badger come in, and that was really exciting because it's a treat. It was like wasn't even planned. We were just kind of sitting down there hanging out, just enjoying the breeze and the relaxation, and then all of a sudden we heard it coming in, so we got a chance to watch that, which is awesome because we're gonna be on that tomorrow. And yeah, just a really good day. So I just like to say that if you are going through something that's extremely challenging, no matter how difficult it is at the time, just do your best to try to work through it and support one another during the process. And if it doesn't kill you, I guess it really does make you stronger. So I'd like to say ride safe, ride often, and please subscribe to my channel, guys. All right, we'll talk to you soon.